problem of Israel is with the young generation of the black community. Black Lives Matter starts there.
Welcome back. The Beard Back Podcast. I'm your host. So, propaganda is spreading that the world is getting more anti-Semitic, which is a lie. The world is getting more woke and aware of the lies, such as Zionism. See, we confuse Zionism for Judaism, and that's a big misconception. I'm gonna break it down for you. So, I found myself, right, really fucking disliking Israel, right? And, I know I don't hate Jews. I see Jews on what they having all the time, by Diamantos and shit. If you ain't from New Haven, you might know. Let's say somewhere in Brooklyn, Best Eye or something. You see a bunch of Jewish people, and they just mind their business. They just walk. They do their little thing. They got their hats and their suits. You know what I'm saying? They curly hair and shit, and they mind their business. Respectful people. I never in my life came across a disrespectful Jew. No Jew ever called me an N-word. I met one Jew. He was a funky motherfucker in the gym, but that was only one. I think he was kind of slow, but for the most part, every Jew I ever met was kind of cool for the most part, right? But as of lately, I've been fucking finding myself really fucking disliking Israelis. But an Israeli is not a Jew. So an Israeli is just a person born in Israel or a person who supports, the state of Israel, right? All Jews don't support the state of Israel.
The root of this issue, Zionism, a racist political ideology that gave birth to the state of Israel by legitimizing a settler colonial project in Palestine. Before we start going in on Zionism and someone lies to you and tells you that I'm anti-Semitic, it's actually forbidden by God in the Jewish religion for Jews to establish a state until the arrival of the Messiah. Theodor Herzl was not the Messiah, but he went along and advocated for a Jewish state in Palestine anyway. Now, as we live in a world where a critique of Zionism is often equated with anti-Semitism, it is important to clarify the racist, supremacist, and colonial settler references that exist in Zionist thinking.
Now, what's a Zionist? I can get into the history of the Balfour, the Rothschilds, and all that, but I ain't got to get into that. I'm going to simplify it, right? The Zionist movement is people who could be or could not be Jewish, right? But for the most part, anybody can be a Zionist.
Were I a Jew, I would be a Zionist. And my father pointed out to me, I did not need to be a Jew to be a Zionist, for I am. Israel is essential to the security of and I say again, you need not be a Jew to be a Zionist.
As long as you support the state of Israel. For example, Joe Biden is a Zionist. Hillary Clinton are a Zionist. A lot of people in Congress support Israel. A lot of the government support Israel. You know what I'm saying? The Zionist movement. For the interest of oil and to be, the rule shit, the Middle East business, what America always do. See, the people of America and American government are not the same. We have the same ideologies. Just like the Jews and the Israelis, or AKA the Zionists. See, you can break it down to Israeli, Zionist, and Jew. Now, they could be all three, or they could be three different things, or they could be two of the different things. It depends on how you match them, right? Now, for the most part, Jews in America are not Israelis. They are American Jews. Just like you got French Jews or any other Jews in the world. Those are not Israelis, and they don't always support Zionists. See, what Zionists is terrorists disguised as a religion. They use the religion to get sympathy and support. Because if they wasn't using religion or Judaism, they'd just be fucking terrorist white supremacists. If you take the Judaism from the Zionists, you just got white supremacists killing innocent Palestinians and invaded the country that no one invited them to. They use the Torah, you might call it the Bible, as a shield of morality. That's why they want black people to support them too, because they need support. They need public support, because without the public support, what are they really? They're really just terrorists. They really just killing fucking kids. Like you see a bunch of, like if you really look at Israelis, people who support Zionism, they're really racist terrorists. First of all, they call Africans N-words. I showed you that.
לא הכל כושים מברכים, אלא צריך שיהיה כושי שאבא שלו ואימא שלו לבנים. איפה אתה תדע? אם אתה יודע, בפעם שאתה יודע, ואתה יצא להם בן קוף, יצא להם בן ככה.
עם בית נשואה, עם כושי. כן, את נשואה עם כושי. את עם כושי נשואה. את נשואה עם כושי. לכי את והוא. תלכי מפה. תלכי. את נשואה עם כושי, לכי.
They call Palestinians dogs. They celebrate the death of children.
Every day you can find videos coming out of Israel showing Israelis calling for all Arabs to die. Insulting the Prophet Muhammad. Desecrating mosques, spitting on Christians, mocking and celebrating the murder of Palestinians, committing violent hate crimes against Palestinians, watching Gaza get carpet bombed from a cliffside for entertainment. But don't just go off.
They even sit around and watch Palestine get bombed, Gaza get bombed, all types of horrendous shit, right? Now, a lot of these people are Jewish religiously, but a lot of them are not. They just Jew by name. Like, for example, right? Technically, I could be a Christian because my family is Christians, but I don't believe in Christian. I don't believe in the Bible, though. It's that goes the same with the Zionists. A lot of them are just, their families are Jews or was practiced once upon a time, or they got a lineage, somebody in their lineage, but really they just here for the, the terrorism and the benefits. So basically, Zionism is a terrorist movement. Israel, we see, are terrorists. Now, usually I'll be afraid to say this on YouTube because they'll be like, oh, I'm being anti-Semitic, right? They could flag me if they want, but that'll be a false narrative because I'm not against no Jew, nobody who studied Judaism, nobody who studied the Torah, no Orthodox Jew. I got nothing but respect for them. I don't know many, but I have no hate at all. I feel like, they're just good people for the most part. I feel that practicing Orthodox Jews are good people. And a lot of them protest against Zionism, right?
So this is the fact. The fact on the ground is Judaism is subservience to God. Zionism is a transformation to a base nationalism. It is totally contradictory. It is antithetical to this Tower Judaism. The fact is, no matter what the Zionists or they're going to come with their intimidation or their whatever explanation, the fact is Judaism does not accept Zionism. It cannot accept Zionism. In every aspect of Zionism, it's contradictory. It is based on blasphemy.
So what brings you here today? To support Palestinian rights. We as Jews are embarrassed what's happening there in the state of Israel, in the Jewish name. And what's your message to the people of Palestine? They shouldn't give up the struggle. They should continue to fight and not give up the struggle against the state of Israel, because by the end, Palestine will be free, because this is truth, will succeed by the end. What's your message to the people of Palestine?
They should know. We feel very shame what's going on there, especially they're doing everything in our name, in the name of Jews, in the name of the Torah, in the name of God. It's so shameful. We are with you. You have to know. The Zionists are strong. We are weak. But God is on our side. At the end of the day, the Palestinian flag will be on all Palestine, from the river to the sea.
To be Semitic, you have to be a descendant from Shem in the Bible, biblically, right? Now, those are people from Lebanon, people from Palestine. Shit. I would even say people from Iraq are all Semitic people. Definitely the Arabs, they're Semitic people too, because they'll derive from Abraham, Jacob, like the lineage of the Bible. These So the people of the Bible really came from Iraq. There's a place called Ur, back when it was called Mesopotamia, right? And somehow they went to Jerusalem, you know, then there was a famine, then they went to Egypt for 400 years, then they got kicked out of Egypt, you know, the Pharaoh story, then they went back to Jerusalem, then, you know, they got conquered by, you know, the Israelis, the Assyrians, the Babylonians, the Persians, and the Romans wiped them out, and they just spread, right? And it's the funny thing, what I don't get. If Europeans, right, conquer Jerusalem, why will the Jews go to Europe? If anything, they'll flee from Europe because they had dark skin. So why would they go somewhere where they'll be pinpointed easily? My theory is they didn't go to Europe. They went to Africa. They went east where they could blend in. I'm saying, like, you could blend in India. They could have blended in Iraq. They could have blended in Egypt or like Sudan or Nubia, Kemet, and all that shit, right? They couldn't blend into Europe. Now, how it spread that's a different story. Maybe somebody got out, someone converted. But for the most part, I don't think the Jews went. It don't make no sense for them to do that. Anyway, the Zionists are putting up propaganda that people are being more and more anti-Semitic. No, we being more anti-Israeli. We being anti-Zionist. That has nothing to do with all Semitic people. We being real specific about who's doing what. Now, we can label Israeli or Zionist as terrorist group. As a terrorist group. And that's not being anti-Semitic, because no one hates them. Besides maybe the Palestinians. You know, see, who was really anti-Semitic? Historically, it's not Black Americans. It's not even Africans. It's Europeans. Europeans kicked them out of Spain. They kicked them out of Britain, Italy. The Germans, and you know, the Germans did the Holocaust thing. They been kicked out of a lot of different places, right? Even they been kicked out parts of the United States, parts of Tennessee. They've been kicked out. They've been kicked out of different places across the world. But that was on the behalf of Black people. That was on the behalf of Europeans. Europeans are one of the most anti-Semitic people in history. That's just a fact. Because Jews say racist, because Europeans say racist shit to Jews. They say hell Hitler. They have Nazi movements. You know what I'm saying? Like they have they do the blasting of hitting up synagogues and all that. Along with a couple of I would say Muslims, maybe Palestinians. I ain't sure, but I heard I don't know how many, but I'm sure between white people and maybe people who politically invested into Palestine or Islam. You know what I'm saying? Now, with that being said, right, the Zionists get away with a lot of shit. We let them determine what is anti-Semitic. One-sided. Only they get decide. Like the ADL is a propaganda. It's a propaganda piece. It's a propaganda piece of the Zionist movement. They determine who's anti-Semitic and not. They go around picking up articles and making articles saying who's anti-Semitic. Where even when you don't physically have no hatred towards a Jew, you just speak against the Zionist movement, Israel movement. They'll call you anti-Semitic. I seen something recently, right, where this guy, I think he was like a prime minister or he was like a ambassador to the United States. He was something high level. He was here since George Bush and Bill Clinton. He been here since Bill Clinton, but he was talking shit to an Egyptian, being real racist.
To my friends in immigration.
Really? Okay, go, yeah.
And to the Egyptian, the Mukhabarat wants your picture.
Okay, yalla, go.
Yeah? You know the Mukhabarat?
The
Mukhabarat.
No, I don't know.
You don't know?
I just speak English.
No?
Yeah, go, yeah.
Mukhabarat in Egypt will get your parents.
Go.
Does your father like his fingernails? They'll take them out one by one.
يلا روح منين يلا go.
Why should I go? Why should I go? Tell me why I should go. I'm standing here. I'm an American. I have free. It's a free country. It's not like Egypt. Yeah, smile for me. Did you rape your daughter like Muhammad did? Did you rape your daughter like Muhammad?
I speak English.
You only speak English?
No English, no.
You don't speak English?
Yes.
All right, well, that just shows how ignorant you are. Because, Muhammad was a rapist. It says in the Hadith, in your holy book.
Oh, Muhammad.
What?
Oh, Muhammad.
Muhammad, your prophet. You know who he is.
My prophet?
Yeah. He was a rapist. He raped Aisha. Does it say that in the Hadith or not? You know that?
I do speak English.
What?
No English.
You don't speak English? Mm-hmm. What do you speak? What do you speak? You speak Arabic? The language of the Quran? The Holy Quran? That some people use as a toilet? What do you think of that? People who use the Quran as a toilet? Does it bother you? Does it bother you? Tell me the truth.
I don't speak English.
You don't speak English? Ah, that's too bad. That's why you're selling food in a food cart. Because you're ignorant. But you should learn English. It'll help you.
Of course,
when they deport you back to Egypt, and the Mukhabarat wants to interview you for being
talking about how Israel should have killed more kids. They killed 4,000 kids. They should have killed more. Called him a dog. He was just talking disrespectful. I don't know reason, unprovoked. And he did this day by day. He just came just being disrespectful to this guy, right? Now, let's say if the guy wasn't being recorded, right? We would never know how this guy was being hateful. But let's say if the Egyptian would have attacked him, that crime would be called anti-Semitic. Even though it was one-on-one, it was an individual being attacked, they would call that incident anti-Semitic, where you can't attack no Jewish person without it being anti-Semitic. And that's just not true, because one-on-one people could have a discourse and could be attacked. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, what we don't see is what these Zionists provoke, because I'm pretty sure Zionist people and, extremist, far-right Jewish groups like, the JDL, the Jewish Defense League, do a lot of shit that cause retaliation. They provoke a lot of shit that's unseen, but all we do see is the outcome of the retaliation, and we call that a Semitic crime. We never see when they provoke shit, because the JDL is a terrorist group. Now, the JDL is a Jewish Defense League.
The young people here, some just 14 years old, are all Jewish.
Put the guns down, gentlemen.
The camp's run by the Jewish Defense League, a group of militants who claim 21,000 members throughout the United States. Their aim is quite simply to turn out what they call good fighters, a new breed of young Jews prepared to meet anti-Semitism with violence. In a military-style routine that begins at 5:30 in the morning and lasts until nightfall, the youngsters are taught hand-to-hand combat, service drills, and, of course, how to shoot guns.
They was terrorizing shit for decades. For decades. FBI never even fucking gave him a RICO charge or nothing. You know what I'm saying? So that's one extremist group. The Zionists is another extremist group. So we have extreme groups of Jewish people who provokes hatred and instigate hatred to other people. They dish out hatred to other people, but yet it's no word for that. It's no word for when a Jewish person calls a Palestinian person a dog, or called a black person an N-word, or called an African a monkey. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, anti-Semitic is a one-way street. So it basically means that it makes it look like everybody attacked Jews and Jews don't do nothing to people. And I don't even say Jews per se, because these people are not really Jews. These people are extremists. These people are racist people. Now, no one acknowledged that Israel is a racist state. It's an apartheid state.
Israel is one of the most racist countries in the world. While you'll never hear anyone in the mainstream media say this, this is actually one of the most important things you need to understand if you want to know what's happening right now. From its inception, the whole idea of Israel as a country was based on racism.
Nobody acknowledges that. See, the Palestinians ain't getting a lot of air. Like, see, Israel and Zionists control a lot of the media. They control a lot of the narrative that's being told. But the thing is, technology is showing us otherwise, because other people got phones, other people telling their stories too. Not as much. Like the Palestinians don't talk as much, but we see the bomb buildings, we see the children, we see the RIP to the children, we see the devastation that they causing, and yet they want to support this demonic rule. Check it out, right? Israel got these people basically in an open air prison. They control their water, electricity, and food, just like the American government controls ours, the black community. When we had technicians, we had people who invented water mechanisms that we don't have to rely on tap water.
Well, retired Captain Moses A. West is founder of the Moses West Foundation. He developed technology that pulls water from the atmosphere. Moses joins me from Chicago to explain atmospheric water generation. Moses, I want to thank you so much for being with us today.
You could get water from, the atmosphere, damages his mechanism. Even the guy from Buffalo, he invented something with the water too, and he got killed. See, the thing is, Israel, or the Zionist movement, is the new KKK to the Palestinians. I mean, they're not hanging them, but they're bombing them. And actually, they're the new Nazis. I mean, they're not bringing people to, camps to burn them and gas them, but they're just dropping bombs on them. They're keeping these people concentrated in one area, and they just annihilate them randomly. They do random shit unprovoked. And before 1948, the Jews and the Muslims, they lived in harmony, peacefully, it was respectfully. The Zionist movement came in and made everything fucked up. The Israelis made everything fucked up. See, they want you to believe that Israel is the home of the Jews. If you're Jewish, your homeland is Jerusalem. That's not true. It's people who was born in America who never been to Europe, who been here for generations, who aren't Americans. See, the thing is, during school, we had to pledge allegiance to America. I never had Jews in my class or in my schools. Never. That's ironic. I never had Jewish people in my schools. But we had to pledge allegiance to America, just like the president do. But the president is a Zionist. Supporting Israel, right, it's like serving two flags. That's treasonous. Like the Jews here, I'm sure they had to pledge allegiance to our flag. So my whole thing is, why do we let a devil run around acting like he's a god? We have Lucifer in Jesus' clothing, or Moses' clothing. Because the Zionist movement, the Israel movement, is an evil movement that's going around like it's a religious movement, and it has nothing to do with religion. Nothing. But they use religion as a veneer. So it's like a humble cause. And the actuality of the situation is, they're not religious people at all. Even I can show you clips that real Orthodox Jewish people in Jerusalem are getting harassed by police. In Jerusalem, they get harassed for peaceful protesting against the government. Because don't get it wrong, you have good Jews A lot of good Jews. But we are made to believe that if we say something about Israel, that we're anti-Semitic. But can a Jew be anti-Semitic if he's going against the murder of children, innocent children and shit? See, that's a conundrum. See, it's not about being anti-something. It's just about being right or wrong. The Jewish people want peace for the most part here. I mean, they're prosperous. They make a lot of money. I mean, on average, they make $68,000. Wow, the average white American makes $78,000. The average black make like $46,000. We was like the bottom. But the Israel-Jerusalem thing, the Palestinian thing, it is making people anti-Semitic. But they don't know why they're anti-Semitic. I had to think about this. Like, why I don't fucking like these people. See, we will blame people here for what's going on over there. Check it out. If the Zionists are not really Jews, or they're just atheists, because you got atheist Zionists. Because it's not about religion. It's just about conquering us and having a state for Europeans and Americans to have, access to oil in the Middle East, to keep their foot on, Muslims. But the Zionist movement has nothing to do with religion. These people are devils acting like angels, man. It's just a blatant lie. It's all propaganda. We see the propaganda. Like black see, think about being a black American is we've been so oppressed. Even though we do crime on each other and we do a lot of fuck shit, we can see what's right or wrong. We can see who's being oppressed, and we resonate with that. We can't really stand for oppression. Like I said in my last podcast about that cornball Michael Rappaport, right? But white people don't see it like that. White people, that's their nature to fucking oppress people, bomb people, kill people. That's in their nature. So when people saying, like Ben Shapiro saying, you need to kill more people or kill more Palestinians or there can never be peace, why you want it to be peace? How are you against peace? What type of savage are you against peace? Ben Shapiro? People like Ben Shapiro, Michael Rappaport, people have the privilege of instigating death without having to put one soldier boot on, when I have to lift on one gun or one shot. See, it's easy to amp somebody up, but it's hard to put it in work yourself. Like, if you're so fucking Zionist, right? Ben Shapiro, Michael Rappaport, get suited up and booted up and go your motherfucking self. Why don't you go fight? Why are you in America? If you're so fucking pro-Israel, you fucking treasonous traitors, go to fucking Israel. Don't be in our country. Because you know what? We are fucking Americans. And not just black Americans, not just white Americans. We have Jew Americans. We have Latino Americans. We have gay Americans. We have fucking tranny Americans. We have everything, but it's all tied into America. And we don't give a fuck about nothing that goes on outside of America. Because that's not our priority. Our priority is us. We have our own problems. Shit, we want peace in America. Shit, black people want the same rights as the Palestinians. Shit, if you think about it, these immigrants coming here over the border are invading our territory just like Israelis are invading their territory. I mean, it's the same thing. It parallels. And don't get me wrong, I'm no ally of no Palestinians because they're just racist too. They come here and call us N-words too. Just looking at things from a moral perspective without choosing sides, because it really don't concern us. But I am concerned about the children that's being killed for no reason. I am concerned about people being harmed for no reason. I'm not with that shit. That's just not cool. If it can be avoided, it should be avoided. But the instigators and the racists, like the Ben Shapiro's, the Michael Rappaports, these weirdos, it should be addressed. We shouldn't identify them as Jews, because Jews follow the word of God, not the actions of man. See, God didn't tell them to get a state. That's not in the Torah. That's not in the Bible. They didn't say make a state from yourself. It didn't say that. God said wait for me to come back and he will prove himself. Y'all doing some artificial shit, colonizing propaganda. It's just innocent people dying. But I really want to, people need to know the difference between being anti-Semitic or anti-Zionist. They ain't the same thing. Because we can have love for Jews. Matter of fact, Jews might even agree with me. That shit's going on over there. That's about my business, though, right? I really ain't gotten invested in this. Like I really ain't gotten invested in this. But I seen the clip, right? I seen a couple of clips. I seen the a Zionist terrorist. She's like the Hillary Clinton of Israel. Her name is Judith Vanai Shorer, some shit like that. And she was saying that the biggest threat to Israel is the young black Americans. Mind you, I'm pretty sure not one young black American ever stepped foot in Israel. We don't want to go to Israel. We never shot a rock at Israel. We never dropped a bomb on Israel. We never gave a slur to Israel. We don't know what the fuck is going on in Israel. But somehow this bitch got us in her mouth. I wonder what that meant. What is she trying to do? How could a black American have anything to do with Israel? We have no power to oppress any of y'all. We not fighting y'all. Y'all Israeli Nazis. Y'all some Israeli Nazis. Everything Hitler did to y'all doing in Palestine. Everything. Except gas chambers. How come y'all ain't fighting to get Germany back? Or land in Europe? How come y'all don't want you to land in Europe? Because y'all was chased out of Europe. Y'all was chased out of fucking Europe. Y'all was oppressed in Europe. Y'all was killed and harassed in Europe. There's nobody more anti-Semitic than white people. If there was no black people or Latinos in America, you know who they'd be attacking and oppressing and targeting? It'd be Jews. I don't know what's the beef between Anglo-Saxons, Christians, and everybody else who got a problem with Jews, but it ain't the black Americans. We have nothing to do with that. Y'all call us monkeys. Y'all call people dogs. Y'all is a ruthless ass people. Not to mention, y'all was a part of Jim Crow to us, slaved us. I said this before, but my whole thing is one day the American government is going to turn its whole back on Israel. You know why? Because we're going to vote for it. One day soon, we're gonna push the agenda that we no longer want to support this fucking terrorist group called Israel and Zionists. Our taxpayers are wasted on these fucking people in this fucking war. I'm sure it's easy ways to get fucking oil. Shit, if anything, why don't the American government just go over there and just put a post up? We ain't gotta kill nobody. We can just take the oil. We got enough power to take the oil. If that's the case, now I ain't supporting that either because it's savagery. I'm saying I think people should get paid for their resources. And fuck what is white imperialism, man. Oh, this is white imperialism. It ain't with none of that, man. So yeah, know that it's because you disagree with Israel and the Zionists, that doesn't make you anti-Semitic. That make you anti-bullshit. Don't let them use rhetoric and propaganda to fucking mind fuck us. We know what we are. They can't tell us we anti-Semitic. We never attacked no fucking Jews. You know how many Jews walking around these fucking streets that we never bother? I'm pretty sure if you check the statistics about how many Jews being robbed or raped or killed, that shit's like zero. And systematically, there ain't no Jews being oppressed in America. I mean, what goes on in Europe is not America. Jews are about 2.2% of the population in America. They're like 1.7% in the prisons. That ain't systematic. They don't live below poverty. I think 50% of them live below poverty, as opposed to like 80% of black Americans live below poverty. We never hear no police profiling no Jews, killing no Jews, harassing no Jews, beating Jews up. We don't hear none of that. Never seen none of that. We don't see police raiding Jewish houses with fucked up warrants and making mistakes. We don't see none of that. That's only black Americans. Anti-black American or anti-black in general is way higher than anti-Semiticism. Anti-Semitic shit. Anti-Semitic shit is just people talking shit about Jewish people. But it's like the actions are few. Like, don't get me wrong, people do terrorist shit to synagogues and all that. But we don't know what provoked them things. You know what I'm saying? Now, none of this is my business. I'm on my business, but I just want to get that off my chest. Motherfuckers ain't anti-Semitic. We anti-Zionist. We anti-Israeli. We know what's going on. Y'all wrong. Y'all not righteous people. Y'all not really about the God life. Y'all not really Jews. You using the Jews. We not fucking stupid. Take that fucking veil off and say y'all not Jews, that is terrorists. That's what the fuck y'all are. Anyway, that's the Be About podcast, man. Like, share, subscribe. I know this thing will get no views, but I don't give a fuck. I don't do reviews. She be on my mind. She be on my heart. That's what I talk about. I talk about shit on my heart. I can talk about the T.I. son, that goofy little. I can talk about a bunch of silly shit, y'all. Fuck all that shit. I mean, sometimes some shit is I can do that shit, but boy, I watch this politics, man. I watch this Black American movement. I don't give a fuck about none of that silly shit y'all want me to talk about and shit. I'm out.